Alright, welcome to the stream. I do apologise for the long wait for me actually starting. Yeah, so today I'm doing the Class 66 from Eastbourne all the way to Brighton, and the reason that I'm choosing this specific route is because this route actually is fitted with AWS, the safety system, and I'd like to show that off at least in one stream. Before Southeastern High Speed comes out, where hopefully I'll have another locomotive to run and another route to drive along as well that will be fitted with AWS, but this is the only one I think at the moment that I have that I can actually use it on. And when I start out, I'm going to have about 5 minutes to set up the locomotive properly. Right now I'm just setting up the rest of the locomotives that are going to be coming in the opposite direction, just as a sort of trial run to see whether this will actually work, because I don't want to mess it up like I did for the stream that didn't work well, because as you could guess by the fact that it didn't work well, it's where am I actually going from? So we want to make it sure it's coming from Glynde. Do apologise if I butcher the names of these places, because I'm not actually from the south of England, so I wouldn't know how these names are pronounced. I just want to do cross 20 times 2. I mean, this is just to have locomotives coming on the other track, you know, towards us, so we can actually see them going past, which I think should be pretty interesting. 2050, actually, to be honest, 2045 would be nice. Yep, 2045. And yeah, release the bird there. London Road. London Road, platform 2. To Eastbourne, yes, please. Polegate, nice. Make sure it stops at every... Is that even a good idea? You know what? I'll play it as it is, because otherwise we'll be here all day. Hello to Hope. I'll begin right now. Welcome to the stream. The last time it went okay, but it didn't really upload properly after it finished, which it's supposed to do, but then YouTube is a pain in the rear sometimes. Yeah, hope everyone's alright today. I know as for me, I'm quite tired at the moment, but then I haven't really done much all day, so I don't really understand why I'm so tired. I'll start in a moment. Eastbourne to Brighton, yep, at 20:40 at night. Considered Twitch or caffeine. Caffeine I haven't heard of, actually. Twitch I can stream to from the PS4, but I'm just not familiar with Twitch, really. And I know I can stream from the PS4 to Twitch, but I'm just not sure if Twitch is anything I want to do. I'm going to stop the engine for a start, because I'm going to start it back up again. Right, let's see if I can remember everything about this train, because I was going to do a tutorial on it recently. And I'm not a good tutorial giver, honestly. Our tail lights are apparently off. Well, they should be on. Nice. And none of the brakes should be on in this cab, so we're good to go. Do we actually have tail lights on? Yes, we do. Very nice. Welcome to Music of Adam, otherwise known as Spooky. I believe that we have someone else as well who can't speak at the moment. Not speak here. DSD should not be isolated, it should be unisolated. And what I'll do is... Right, got that on. I'll start up the engine, because why not? Let's stop isolate. All them three need to be on. And... okay. Oh. Right. Engine started up now. The problem is that the engine stop button, you have to actually release it before you want to start the engine back up. What kind of game is this? This is a game where I drive trains. It's a simulator. And a very good one at that. And now I can turn AWS on. I want to have that done. Oh, she knows your name now. I mean, Adam's not a bad name, is it? I grew up with someone named Adam. But it is a simulator. Nope. So, I'll explain what that was in a moment. But Adam is a good name. Cab tail lights. Headlights should be on night. Tail lights should not be on. Cab lights. I am actually going to invite Lise, I think, or Lice, or Lissaran. I think Lissaran is probably a good way to name. Good name to use, because I get confused whether it's Lise or Lice or anything. Could be anything. It could be Saladin the Wise, for all I know. But yeah, everything should be set up at the moment. Right, releasing the brake. Nice. Which is denoted by that dial and also that one. And then I can get moving once it's been properly released. That's funny. Doesn't want to work. Oh, I know. It's not connected to the thing. Ah. Oh, very clever. Not even following my own tutorial that I wrote down. Do we actually have front headlights? We do. Amazing. I'll be offering views of outside the train as well. To be fair, I always call her Lise or Liz. Or Liz. I keep pronouncing their moniker as Lise for a car or something. Yeah, I do. I keep pronouncing it as Lise. But you know, at the end of the day, I think most of the times I call them Lissaran, so that's what I was doing when they appeared in the stream last time. Oh. Alright, so I do have the AWS system on, which is basically the automatic warning system. It's controlled by... Do you want me to invite her for... Yeah, please do. Although, doesn't Lissaran identify as they, them? Because I've been using they, them for I don't know how long. But you two have just used her... I did leave her... I did leave Lissaran a... she, her, all, they, them. Well, you know what? I do apologise. I've been using they, them all this time, thinking that that was the right... you know... I mean, I'd rather use something like she, her if I've got that, because I more instinctually decide to say she or her or anything like that. I do apologise about that. I've tried to... That's good though. The AWS system is on lines throughout the UK nowadays. It's controlled by little yellow magnets that you'll see on the tracks and also underneath the train. And when I actually go over a magnet, you should hear it ping, like there. It'll ping if it's green, but if it's anything except for green, it will trigger an alarm which will cause me to read the signal. If you're not paying attention, it's basically a thing to say, is the driver paying attention in this train or not, and does the driver know to slow down when he's been given an obvious signal. The he being me behind the controls of the train, which is very important, because if I were to, I don't know, fall asleep or become incapacitated, AWS would stop the train if I didn't respond by pressing the button, and the button is interlinked between a little pedal down here, and also there is another proper button. Is it that one? No, it's not. It's not that one. It's this bell here. So they'll either have a button like this or a big yellow button somewhere on the dashboard, and you press that when the alarm goes off. And sometimes when DSD is on, DSD is something completely different, although it's controlled by the same sort of magnets you'll see in the tracks. If you look, you'll notice when DSD goes off, it will trigger an alarm where I'll have to press the button, like now. There you go. And then that's sunflower. It's called a sunflower dial. It's not really supposed to be a sunflower, but it just looks like one, and that's what drivers usually call it. So DSD is to check whether I'm still awake, really, or paying attention. If I didn't answer the alarm within about 2 or 3 seconds, it slams on the brakes on its own. So that's its safety system, to make sure we don't get any runaway trains with drivers that are either half asleep, not paying attention, or that are completely faulty. Also, I'm going way too fast because I forgot to slow down because I'm too busy hammering away at this one topic. I'm just bad at remembering genders if I haven't been around someone for a while. Queen Lean Lucy is one of the few exceptions. Yeah, Lucy is uses female pronouns, so she and her. which I think is good for me. This is fascinating. Really? Is it fascinating, or is it... Because I don't think I'm explaining it right. I don't think... Yeah. But this is one of the routes that I do have that actually has AWS fitted on the tracks. You need to have it on the tracks. Which is different from the German routes which use PZB. I say PZB in the American way, not in the English way, because sod it, who cares about consistency? Which I don't understand. I don't understand the signalling for it, and I really I don't want to mess around with PZB until I understand what it means for the German routes, so you'll mostly be seeing British routes for right now. And this train isn't particularly anything special. It is very nice to drive though, and I am going quite far, I think. So we're going all the way to Lewis, and then we're going from there to Brighton. Zoom in. Am I even going the correct speed? Fascinating in a sense because in Florida we have some trains, but it's kind of rare. We don't use it a lot like New York or Chicago does. To be fair, this is close to learn the mechanics of a train in present day. It's close. Is that a piece of US slang that I don't understand? Does close mean good? This is close. This is close to learning. This is, yeah. Well, I think American trains have... Oh, there's another train we just went past, roaring past. I think American trains, which are in this game, I just don't like driving them because the brakes are like damp Swiss cheese in that they don't work. I don't like that. And I don't want to play something for you and not be able to stop the thing when the time comes for it, because then if I go past a red signal I will fail, and at the end of every line there is a red signal. So if I go over the boundary past a red signal, I fail everything and I have to start again. Now I don't think you guys would make me start again on stream, but I'm just saying that the principle is I don't want to fail it right at the very end because the brakes are like mouldy cheese and they don't stop properly. That's my experience of the American trains. They are pretty powerful things though, and I do want to try driving one at least. Oh, class 377, which has its tail lights on at the front. That's not supposed to happen, but anyway. So yeah, I could drive an American train. I might play one of the tutorials for the American trains after this as sort of a bonus thing, because this won't fill out an entire stream, this one journey. Amtrak is the one I hear about. I think it's somewhere in Orlando. Amtrak has been represented in Train Sim World as a series in NEC New York, that DLC. That was the DSD going off. Just to check that I'm actually awake, which I am. Don't worry, game. And at the start of the video you saw me activating them because by default it's not activated. So if you didn't know how to work that on a class 66, you do now, because I just did it. It's a beautiful scenery we've got. It's probably a lot better to see during the daytime. I decided to go for night instead. Let's see. But yeah, once something like Southeastern High Speed, the next DLC in the lineup, comes out, I'll have 2 new trains to drive, although one of them isn't technically new. It's basically a reskin of one that we've already got. It's the reskin of the Class 377, which I drove in the last stream. Which is a nice train to drive, it's just that it's basically the same. Another DSD panel. It is basically the same. Just a different headlight arrangement and also a different interior, according to the people that are on the Dovetail Games forums for this series, who are very helpful people. And they have suggested things like, there is a thread where you can suggest different DLCs that you might want to see. And one of the top ones is actually New York City Subway. Because they have done welcome MC the Beardy, as much Untail So Spaghetti. It's nice to see you around. And I believe we might have a Mr. LaFay as well in the stream audience. He's probably here, he's quiet, but I know he's there, and he'll probably be playing something like Destiny at the moment, which is a fun game. It's just I haven't played it in a little while because I've been too busy doing this. What was I actually saying? They have done 2 DLCs set in New York though already, so it's very unlikely they'll try and do the New York City Subway. But if they did, the fans would definitely like it. I know that. I actually just looked it up. A train ride from Charleston, West Virginia to Orlando is almost 24 hours, good god. Also like an Australian train journey, which takes as long as that, pretty much. Though they may artificially lengthen it, because what they sometimes do in the railway industry is offer overnight journeys so that people can actually sleep when they're on the train, and that's probably why it might take so long. I don't think it would take 24 hours on the train from Charleston to Orlando, but then again my US geography isn't all that, so maybe it does. When this pandemic ends, I would like to go somewhere warm, wouldn't we all? Spooky, are you trying to visit me? I'm sure that he probably isn't, because I don't know what it's like on US trains, and I don't think a lot of people I've talked to have even travelled on them. Would be nice to hear that the service isn't good. I know on some American airlines they've had problems with their customer service. Thank you DSD for waking me up. Not that I needed it. My audio is glitched. Is it? Hold on. It's glitched. You sure? Let me just... Hold on, I'll unplug the mic, listen to the stream, and then I'll see. It's repeating the last same thing you said for me over and over again. I'd say refresh it. I've never heard of it doing that before on YouTube streams, but if it's still doing it after that, I'm not sure what the problem might be, if I'm completely honest. Where was I in the chat? We have theme parks slowing down. Okay, you did it. Actually, weirdness of the internet right there. 8 people in the stream, technically 7, because I'm one of those, but still. Yeah, Orlando has lots of theme parks. Is that not also where they have Disney World? Is that where they have Disney World? Never been to Disney World, but still. And Universal Studios, I know that's there. In Orlando. Yes, it is. Lovely. And wear lots of sunscreen. I imagine so, because it's very... Florida is... How do I say it? How do I describe Florida geographically? It's like... I'm only making a pit stop. I'm actually going to stop though to talk to you guys. Here we are at Lewis, which is kind of halfway between where we need to be. Brighton is 7 miles away, I think. There's Magic Kingdom, Epoch. What's Epoch? You mean Epcot? Epcot. Yeah. Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. My favourite dress-up game got ruined by fake woke TikTok kids, and now it's not fun anymore. Let me just stop the engine. Yes, sorry, Epcot. 80 plus degree weather in Florida was something I underestimated. Versa is in neutral, we have the brakes on, which I'll take off, and I will put the automatic brake on. Nice, so we have some braking power keeping us from rolling, even though we probably won't roll because we're on a flat surface. But okay, British safety laws. Florida is an agricultural state. I imagine so, because it's very hot and very sunny and very humid. It's the only part of the USA that's actually in the tropic of... Which one is it? Is it Capricorn or Cancer? It's Tropic of Cancer, I believe, in the north, and Tropic of Capricorn in the south, I think, of the Earth. You know, that planet that we live on, that some people think is flat when it's not. It's clearly an oblate spheroid. Anyway, it's clearly a globe shape. Yeah. About the dress-up game, I'm not sure what happened there. What actually did happen, because I imagine they might have removed, I don't know, some sort of feature with it, maybe. But I'm not particularly sure about dress-up games. I do like dressing characters up in artwork, but not in really games. And thank you, announcement lady. I will get moving in a moment. Just catching up on the chat. Okay. Nice to know the engine works. So run, forward, take off the brakes. Also, if you're wondering what the EWS on the side stands for, English, Welsh and Scottish Railways, which I think is marked on the back somewhere. Over here, yes. English, Welsh and Scottish Railway. So the Lion for England, the Dragon for Wales and the Stag for Scotland. That's how we denote them. Usually if you see something that's got a Scottish, I think it's called a seal, I'm not sure. Anything really relating to Scotland in official logos and all the rest usually uses a unicorn. But in this case we're using a stag. Because I think the stag and the unicorn are both symbols of Scotland. And obviously the dragon is the symbol of Wales. Although it doesn't actually get represented in a lot of the logos for government offices and things like that. And I think they replace it with a leek. So the official flower of Wales is not the daffodil, even though it's quite a lovely flower. It's a leek, which isn't even a flower, it's a vegetable. But they're very proud of their leeks, and we like the Welsh. Good, strong rugby nation, which kick our asses every single time because they're clearly better at it. But I digress. And also pretty good at football, or soccer as Americans, which is everyone in this stream would call it. Yeah. Disney also has 2 water parks and a shopping plaza called Disney Springs. They sell springs. I know it's supposed to be fountains or hot springs. I just like making that little joke, which isn't really funny, to be fair. Oh, still on the back. So we don't have a route in Scotland and we don't have a route in Wales in this game, and I really hope that they will include one of those at some point, because I'm really confused why 2 places in the UK with the best scenery are not on here, and yet not that any of the scenery that we've got on all the other routes is bad, not by a long shot. It's just Wales and Scotland would kind of be better, I think, more obvious choices. But I've never actually been to Disney World or Disneyland because I'm afraid of flying. And Disneyland would be in Paris. It's apparently nowhere near as good as, isn't it called Disney Euro? Disney World Euro? Is that what it's sometimes called? Thank you, DSD. I think that's what it's called. And it's apparently nowhere near as good as Disney World in Orlando. It's also in California, is it? Oh. Right. Well, it's nowhere, probably nowhere near as good as those two. The one in Paris, it's okay. I've been told it's just not as good as Disney World. It's not Disneyland. It's just Disney World in Orlando. Whole world of Disney in there. Not that it's a bad thing to go to Paris. I mean, if you do go to Paris, I'm guessing that maybe you'll spend time in the city of Paris, which is full of things to do. So the park, even if it's not as good, you've still got stuff around you to do if you're staying there. And I could actually go to Disneyland. I take it back. I could go on the train that goes through the Channel Tunnel on the Eurostar, which goes all the way from St Pancras Station in London, then it stops off at Dover, and then it goes under the Channel, and then eventually stops at Gare de Lyon, which I think is in Paris, yeah? And that's how you would get to the park. That's how you get from somewhere like the UK to France. But I personally want to visit the Disneyland in California and around the world. Thank you, DSD. Have a friend to go with you, get sedated and get on a plane to Orlando. I can't. If I know I'm going on a plane, I'm not going. Sorry. I go on something like a ship. I'm sure that they would do a cruise where you could go on a cruise ship and then go to, I don't know, Disneyland, well, Disney World in Orlando. But yeah, that's the only way you're gonna get me to Orlando. Get sedated. Like Mr. T, when he had to go on the plane in the A-Team. I ain't going on no plane, fool. But no, I really aren't going. I'm really not going on a plane. Thank you, DSD. Don't know why I'm saying thank you. It's a machine. It's a set of wires. I'm not sure why I'm saying thank you to it. But it's a safety system, and at least it works. I used to be terrified of heights. Riding on a plane is like riding a bus when the turbulence is finished. I understand that. I get it. There is a Disney cruise line now. I understand that it's the safest way to travel. I get that it's like riding a bus. I understand that perfectly fine. It's just that I don't like being in the air when I can't bloody get out. Because you can't restart those things at 32,000 feet. But we are nearing Brighton now, nearing the end of our journey that I planned for this stream, but that's okay because I'm going to be doing other things afterwards. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide what I end up doing between yourselves. So I'll suggest some things to do, I'll take a break, and when I come back from that break, if we've decided upon something, I'll do that. Or if we still need to do... Why is there DSD on the bloody bridge? By the way, this is the bridge, it's a viaduct. It's called a viaduct because it's not an aqueduct. An aqueduct carries water, this does not carry water. It's supposed to be for the railway, therefore it is a viaduct. Although they do look pretty much exactly the same. That's okay, but the only way to face your fears is to do it constantly. Fine, I'll go... I don't know, I'll go outside, I'll get a big rubber band, I'll tie it between two trees and then I'll back up on it and then fly away. So I need to get used to it. I don't know how I'm going to land, but when did that ever stop humanity from doing things? I'll start doing that, shall I? There's a really nice house across the road that'll break my fall. Stop me dead in my tracks whilst in the air. But here we are at Brighton station. Brighton is pretty much the gay capital of the UK, or at least the south of it. Apparently Manchester is supposed to be the other gay capital in the UK. And Hebden Bridge as well, which is a little village in the middle of nowhere in Yorkshire, but that's okay because I'm not going there. It's full of hippies. I'm not. Oh god. Oh dear. Please don't hit the buffers. Yeah, I hit the buffers. I mean, it's okay it's okay getting moving in a train, it's kind of stopping that's the problem. Well, I did it anyway. So, there you go, I did hit the buffers. Get a jump house to catch your fall. A jump house? You mean a bouncy castle? A jump... Oh... You don't call them bouncy castles, do you? Oh... I've just realised America doesn't have any castles, and therefore the places where you go in to bounce around that you have to inflate won't be modelled after castles because you don't have them. Right. So is that what you call the places where you bounce around and it's all inflatable? A jump house. My goodness gracious me. Anyway, as for options of what we can do, the only American route that I'm confident driving on is Peninsula Corridor because I've done that before. That's from San Francisco to San Jose. And I can do a tutorial on one of the American engines if you want me to. So we can see what that's like. Can't guarantee I'll like it. Or any of the routes that you see on there, with the exception of the London Underground, because I'm still not sure how to operate those. And I'll see you in a moment when you guys have decided what you want me to do for the stream. Be back in a moment. Whew. Alright, I am back. You know what, I do feel like doing stuff on the London Underground. I do. At least learning how to drive the thing again. Welcome back, thank you. Which one is it? Introduction, baby bit. I don't want to do that. Introduction and experience of a day in the life and use. Why? What's gonna be this one, isn't it? Oh. Press the wrong button. LGV Mediterranean. Or Mediterranean. From Marseille to Avignon. Ho ho ho. Do you want a croissant? But yes, interested in getting that one as well. I don't want to do this one. I don't want to do whatever I selected game because the menus are a bit jumpy, sometimes. Oh, you want to start this? Okay. You pressed X. There's nothing more you can do now. We're not going to give you an "Are you sure" message. No. No, I've done it again. I'm so sorry for this. It is rather annoying. No thank you game, I don't want to do this one. I want to do it where I learn how to drive the tube train. And I'm only going to do it up to when I learn, and then I can actually try driving that on one of the routes. Continue the journey, Life on the Underground, Introduction and Experience. 1972 stock introduction. Yes, that one. Please, thank you. Where I learned how to drive the tube trains on the London Underground, because one of them, when I tried to drive last time, wouldn't work. So I clearly forgot a step. Yep, 72 stock introduction. Yep, thank you.
Welcome to your first day on the Bakerloo line of the London Underground. Here you will be taken through a brief introduction on operating the 1972 tube stop that operate on this line. During this session, you'll be taken through the starter procedure, critical driving controls, and passenger operations at several stations.
No problem, I'll be right here.
Head over to the indicated train and climb aboard to get started. Take a seat in the driver's position. This is where you'll be spending most of your time. The control switch activates the train for operation.
Does it? Is that why I can't see it? Control switched it on.
The direction selector determines the direction of travel.
Uh-huh. To enter. Okay.
This train features a combined power brake handle. Set this as indicated to begin the startup procedure. Set the brakes as indicated.
To what? No, not that way.
Train is now ready to depart. Set the direction selector and apply power to begin moving.
Okay. So that's how I do it apparently, is it? Alright. Well, let's try doing that, except on a different route. Can't guarantee it'll work though. I'm just going to call this C, because why not? Right, I know where to start from this time. San Antonio, no. San Mateo. San Jose, yep. Yep. And we'll stop in San Francisco, because why not? Just choose some random stops to stop at. Doesn't really matter what I select there. Call that a passenger service, yes please. Confirm. No, I wanted to drive the 72 Mark 1 stopped. Mark 2 stopped, sorry. Details. Yep. And start. Brian Ferries. Who is this Brian, and why does he operate ferries? Okay. Control keys in, control switches on. Okay. Right, will it actually move? Yes, it will. Shite. Unlock the doors. I believe we're in San Jose at the moment. It is very weird seeing a London Underground train in the US of A. Above ground as well. But this is what they're like in the tunnels of the London Underground network, which by the way is very complicated and very complicated, not easy to understand unless you live in London and you know exactly where you're going. It's kind of a bit pointless to try and understand just from a route map. Am I going on the Bakerloo line today or the Victoria line? You'll never know. Try and ask someone else, they don't know. Oh sorry mate, I'm on the central line. Oh okay. I only know that one. Sorry mate, I only go as far as Baker Street. I don't know where Waterloo is. Elephant and Castle? Nah, yeah, I don't know where that is. Yeah, so getting around in London is a pain, and I only know that because people have told me that, because I've never actually been. Although, if you are going to use the underground, you can learn what to do and where to go. It's just a matter of knowing it beforehand, and then somehow remembering. It's not so much a problem for the people driving the train though, because the track only goes one way, and then it goes back the other way, so you really can't go wrong. We've got shunt speed. Okay. What use is that for a whistle? I know I'm going too fast for it, but I see no reason why I shouldn't be able to go fast on this line, because it looks very straight to me. Don't think we're going to derail on here. It's not very quick. There's a Caltrain depot there, for those interested. The good news, I will be able to use some more trains by the time we get to that next update, or DLC when I actually buy it. It won't be out for about 2 weeks, I'd say, which is good news for me because I don't actually have any money left until next month, so I am excited to use that. And I don't know how fast we can go in this thing, but it doesn't seem to be that quick. I mean, this is in... oh. Well, this I think is full power. Yes, it is. How lovely. It's not going that fast, are we? What are these things do? Cab light, I don't really need that. We also have a wired telephone, which is nice. Because you won't really get any signal in the underground. So, no use of fancy phones to call, you know, the railway headquarters or whatever you need to do using that phone. Can't use a smartphone for that because you won't get any signal, so you have to use proper line phone, and also most trains do have a proper phone like that with a wire. Somewhere on it anyway. Do you really want me to slow down at 50 miles an hour? Considering how long this thing's taking to get up to speed. Granted that's in 2 miles, but still. Won't take us that long to cover 2 miles. Long train though. Guess we don't have a wiper. Because we don't need a wiper. Because these things would normally be in the tunnels where rain can't get through. See the seam here? It belongs in a tunnel. But realistically speaking, you... Oh. No. I see. I understand. So when I got out of my seat, it knew that I was out of my seat and wanted to stop the train. Right. So if your London Underground driver went walkabouts, the train would stop itself. Because he's not sitting in his seat. Right, that's a nice safety feature. I just wanted to kind of alleviate the boredom, really. Alleviate the boredom by going through the train and showing you, well, all the carriages really, but can't do that. What does this do? Don't know. Don't really want to press it to find out. PEA normal, what does that mean? Don't know. I mean, at least it's smooth, you know? It is very smooth to drive, but it's kind of... also doesn't have any buffers. Nope, doesn't have any buffers. Right. There's the rear of the train. 53 miles an hour. 54 now. And I don't think this thing can go above, what, 70 maybe, at the most. Because it would never really need to go that fast on the underground because it's literally stop-start. You wouldn't really reach these kinds of speeds. Doors are locked when moving, that sounds fair enough. It is definitely purpose built. It's designed with its purpose in mind, to be in tunnels underneath the streets of London, where every station isn't very far away from the next one. Where you won't really notice the fact that it's going pretty slow. and it didn't really have the time to get up to these speeds because every station is very close to the one you've just been at. So you'll never reach these kinds of speeds. I'd say maybe 30 at the most. Now, if you are wondering, yes, you can take any train into the London Underground route, although the question is, do you really want to? I can take a train in there, it's just that it's too big for the tunnels. Now if you select off the rails it will work. And by work I mean the top of the tunnel will clip through the cab of the train if it's too tall. Which it probably is, because this thing is only short. Of course, it does say 1972 mark stock, which is when the specific carriages were introduced. So 1972. But the London Underground is much older than that. The trains that are actually running on the Isle of Wight are 1938 carriages, so they're a lot older, and they're actually cast-offs from the London Underground that have just been moved to the Isle of Wight, which is off the coast of the south of England, which is another DLC, the Isle of Wight. It's just that the length of the track I don't think is very long, so I'm thinking, is it really worth it? Because it is a full price DLC. You will get the train they use in that. And I think it might be faster than this. But still, kind of thinking to myself, you know, maybe that's not worth it for me. But I will stop driving this thing when we get to that station. I'll just quit out because we're not going fast. Don't think it's really suited to being above ground, this thing. And by the by, this route is over 40 miles long. The whole thing from start to finish. And this is only the first track I've set it to sort of stop at, so yeah. But at least you've learned about the London Underground, even though we haven't actually driven on it yet. I could do that, it's just do you want to see what the tunnels are like, I guess? I also think I might be able to use the 377 in there. I think that will probably be best suited to it because the 377 is taller than this, but maybe not that much taller. I'll just stop here though. 53 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't think we can go very fast in this. Well, we got the end carriages in. However, I don't fancy doing any more. Nope. Switching away. Get as far away from it as possible. It definitely belongs on the underground, it doesn't belong overground. Oh my. I didn't think it would be that slow. Alright. But now I'm going to drive on the underground, but I'm not going to use... Not going to use that, I'm going to use something else. No, I just need to find out where it starts. Stop at every station. I'll use the class 377. Small car, which is loaded. Nice, wonderful. Doesn't really matter what time it is because we're in the underground, so we wouldn't be able to... You know what, I'll save that for another stream, because that will take a while, I think. Let's have a go. With something else. Probably the best solution there. I want somewhere nice I can go to. Fine, Tees Valley. Nope. It is a bit difficult to decide if I'm completely honest. Into your college corridor, and I'll try and use something else. I am still here, just on the phone, no problem. Which one is before it? Menlo Park. Right, let's have a go with this one. And I'll use talent 2. In pink livery. Because there is a livery editor in this game, and you can, for the trains that were included with Train Sim World 2 and all the future DLC ones, you can change the colours on them and the designs and the patterns. You can basically make your own livery and apply it to whatever train you want to, so long as it's compatible with that specific feature. And essentially what I did was a very basic thing, which is just make it pink. Yes, I hope it shows up. Yes, it is indeed pink. It's a very hot pink, but it's pink. Open the doors. So the whole thing is pink. Nice. And I'm gonna pause for a break in a second. It won't be a very long one, no. I just need to work out how to... Where is the master switch? Or does it not have one? Clearly doesn't, does it? Ah, master switch is on, okay. Ah. Apply some braking so it doesn't move. And I'll get moving once I've come back. Okay, I'm back. Let's begin. I'm taking the brakes off. We are moving. No, my connection is going to shit again. Oh dear. Sorry about that. It's an electric train, so it won't really make a lot of noise. And I gave it a special star at the front there, because why not? I think, yeah, you can change the colour of the trains if you want to, and add special stripes and shapes and all of that. However, I've just gone for a basic, everything is pink. I could probably try making a rainbow for it, because that seems very appropriate for the fandom, I think. And I don't know whether you can import your own logos and your own images, maybe on the PC version, but not on the consoles, probably. Then again, if you are on PC, you could probably mod the game beyond that, so you won't really need the editor at that point. 77 miles an hour, a lot quicker than last time. Fortunately, there's not really a lot to hear with this train. So, I will start talking a lot more, because I can relax whilst driving on this line. Because it is pretty much a straight line with relatively high speeds. And I was going to say about the content that I have planned in the future will be revolving around, if a new DLC comes out and I buy it, I'll do a stream just on the content that's in the DLC. So if we get new trains, what I will do is I'll play the tutorials for them during the stream, and then I'll do one journey with each on the route that we're actually doing, so we'll be using timetable mode for that, so then we can pretty much or one of the scenarios that the game plans out for us during that stream. And then for anything else in the future, I'll do them randomly. But as far as streams go, that's really what I'm planning. Also, there's a station coming up and I didn't really notice, so that's not great for me. Max break. Would it be able to stop in time? My guess says no. No, it will not. Completely missed. I wasn't paying attention. Take us back in reverse. That didn't work out so well. Do apologise for that. Load passengers, even though there aren't really any passengers here except this one lady. Are you gonna get on the train? Maybe. It's gonna be tense. Yes, she is. Our first passenger, and she's just gone and sat down over there. School bus, even though it is 12 in the afternoon, so why would there be anyone at school? Another school bus, and another one. When do schools actually close in the United States? By close I mean finish, you know, sort of the school days. Oh, why am I in reverse? I'm in reverse. Forward. And the pinging is from the crossing. Nice. Okay. Next stop is Haywood Park, and not really sure how far away we are from it because I'm too far away from the screen to really see. Don't think it's too close by though. Ding ding ding, yeah, we get it. You're a crossing. Ding ding ding. But I don't know when schools actually finish in the United States, when the school day ends and people all go home. I don't know. I wouldn't guess it'll be 12 in the afternoon though. So I don't know why there's school buses on the road. Still, you know. I imagine they thought nobody would really care, or no. But, you know. Also, the BR442 that I'm driving is it's a German train. It's from a German DLC. The train itself isn't actually made in Germany. It's built by Bombardier, which I think are French. I think definitely sounds like it from the name. The BR442 Talent 2. Talent 2, I believe, is the name of the locomotive that Bombardier have given it. I do hope that we're all okay and you can talk about anything in my stream chat because, yeah, it's basically free reign. Do whatever you like. I think my channel is marked with everything is not made for kids. So I don't think any of my streams will be allowed to be accessed by anybody under the age of, what is it, 18 now? I don't know. But I think everything has been marked accordingly, so you can say whatever you want in my streams, if you feel like doing that. And also the comic page for the chapter 2 came out yesterday. Technically yesterday my time, today probably your time. And I'm excited to bring you more from that, because I have planned out everything there is to know. Welcome back, Lissaran. I left to go eat something. Oh, I'm still here. I'm just working on me cover letter. Me cover letter, that's all. Applying for jobs and such while drinking hard lemonade. Hard lemonade. What is hard lemonade? Is it supposed to be an alcoholic drink that I don't know what it is? What is that? What is hard lemonade? Is it really strong lemonade? Like really strong lemony taste? It's lemonade with alcohol, yeah. Oh. Is that what it's called? Fine, I need to get out more. Oh no, we're in a pandemic. Oh. Anyway, I can't get out. That's my excuse now. My excuse before was, but now I've actually got an excuse not to go out because nothing's open. So it's good for me, the recluse. Everyone else not so great for. Oh, I want to go out tonight. Oh. Nothing's open. But I'm sure that must be pretty nice, I think. Hope so anyway. Right, remember to brake before the station. Because it's not really that obvious where a station begins and where it ends. I mean, can you see a station up ahead? An obvious sign of one? I can't. Taking it down. And we'll keep it there. Nice. Yes, so the comic page came out, which is very nice. I'm glad, because I've been wanting to bring it back. And it does have a head start over the other comic. The other one, the first pages were posted in February, and I don't think they were posted the next month after that. So this one has a 1 month or 2 head start on the other comic. The first page of it, anyway. So I should hope to have the whole thing finished definitely by the end of this year, and then we'll move on to the next chapter. Or if we get more patrons, we'll be able to see it finished sooner, because then I can afford the comic a lot more. I could devote more of my money to it. It's just that it's a lot of cash. I mean, each page averages out to be costing what, $50 US, and that is quite a lot of money. Even translated over to GBP, it's a lot of money. Come on, get on the train. There you go. Oh, don't get on the train, just kind of walking. Oh, okay. Well, this train wasn't really made for this route, so, you know, it doesn't go down to this level, so imagine the models would have a little bit of trouble walking onto the train. Yeah, he's having trouble as well. But that's very nice that I can start it back up again, and yeah, excited to bring more stuff eventually. The more patrons we get, the faster it will come. And I'm very thankful for the ones that I have already. Very thankful indeed. And everyone else who supports the comic from the sidelines, don't need to give any money to it, but just showing your support in that you say, oh, I'll read it, is great, considering I'm pretty much a nobody as far as creating content goes. I mean, nobody in the fandom outside the people that know me know that I even make that I even write for it. I don't do the drawing for it, but I do the writing for it, and it's just nice to see people enjoying it. Well, you know, I'm excited. I should try and show support on Patreon again. You can do that if you want to. I am thinking about introducing another tier, but I'm not sure what else to add to it. I think for right now I've got a $3, $5, $3, $5, $7 and $10, I think, for the amounts that I've got right now, which is kind of like the standard. But I was considering upping that to something higher. Of course, you can make a custom pledge, but that does mean I don't think you would get the benefits from the tiers, I don't think, or you get whatever it is closest to, I think that's how it works. So I'd recommend just sticking with the tiers if you want to make the same amount every month, because I don't know how it works with the custom pledge. And I would like to start supporting other people on Patreon as well. The only problem is that I've already got a project of my own, so it's a bit counterintuitive to when the comic can pay for itself, when I've got enough patrons to do that. Did you know putting lemon in tea makes you sleepy? I did not know that. I would think that it was the tea itself that was making you sleepy. But apparently, maybe the lemon in the tea works like that. You know, saying that, I did just yawn. Not normal tea, like American iced tea. Oh, so not real tea then. My mistake. Your imitation. Okay. I don't even like tea. I'll drink it. It's just that I prefer coffee. You're not a real British person if you don't like tea. Yeah, whatever. This coming from the person who eats... What do they eat? This comes from the person who eats kale every night. You're not a real British person if you don't drink tea. How can you be British and not like tea? But I eat kale every night. Oh, so how can you be a real British person and eat kale every night? Strange people. Let's see. What was that? Iced tea smacks. American iced tea smacks. Doesn't it? Does it smack? What? Oh, slaps, not smacks. Right. Is it actual tea with ice in it? What is it? Because if it's not normal tea, if it's not normal tea, then what is it? I'm in the United States and I don't like apple pie. Are Americans supposed to like apple pie? Oh, I have to stop. Oh. Since I'm gonna need to use the reverser again. It's brewed tea and then they just cool it with ice, but it's like fruit tea. I don't know. Gotta be honest, I've never really thought about. It'll always be tea made with peaches or something. As American as apple pie is the saying, or some variation of it. Even though apple pie isn't an American invention. No, you don't say. It's not like Europeans were doing that before. Peach sweet tea tastes so good it's an addiction. I want a glass now. We'll get some sand, get a really high temperature torch and just heat it up until it becomes glass. If you want a glass now. I know what you mean, it's just trying to be entertaining, trying to be humorous and funny, because apparently some people think I don't have a sense of humour. I do, it's just a bit hard sometimes. Someone in my country is probably dumb enough to believe that though. We invented apple pie. Oh yes, we invented apple pie, y'all. Yes, an American person was the first in the world to think about making a pie and putting apples in it. And then everyone in Europe went, ooh. We've been putting marrows in ours. I knew we were doing something wrong, but the Americans have saved the day once again with apple pie. I mean, I imagine apple pie is probably on the menu in a lot of American fast food restaurants. I know McDonald's serves apple pie here. Though why they feel like they need to do that, I'm not sure, because it's not really a pie. It's more like a slice of pie, except it's not really a slice. It's more like a sausage roll casing filled with apple pie. So it's not really not apple pie, not filled with apple pie, it's filled with apple. So it's not really an apple pie, because it doesn't look a thing like a pie. So why call it an apple pie? I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm running away with myself. But I've never tried iced tea. And I believe that there will probably be somewhere around here that will sell iced tea. I just don't know where. But if I get the chance to have some someday, I will try to. For your amusement. Now we're going to South San Francisco. Nice. This is what I've always wanted. San Francisco is a nice city. I'd go. My boyfriend said he does want to take me to the United States at some point. And by take me, he knows that I'm afraid of flying, and I thank him very much for understanding that I'm afraid of flying, because anybody else would say, oh, grow some balls and get on the fucking plane. But no, because he has fears himself, he understands that it is a real thing. It's not as if you can just throw me on a plane and ask me to deal with it. It's not going to work. Because I will get off again. If you put me on one, I'll get off. But yeah, he does want to take me at some point. And we'll probably go on a cruise to the United States. When I say one point, that's when he's over here and we both got settled and all the rest of it. I'm just... part of me is worried about... what is it? Part of me is worried that he might not like it here. In that he might be here for a while, but then he suddenly one day thinks, you know what, this isn't really that great. It isn't. You know? He says he'll be fine with it, but I'm just worried. Because I don't want him to go back home again if he does come. It's not easy being apart from him. It's not, well, we've never been actually side by side yet. But it just isn't easy knowing that he's already pretty far away. He's going to be even further away by the end of this month because he's moving to Hawaii. And he's probably going to have a nice time there. He's going to be able to get a job because he's going to bartender school, which is a real thing. It's in Missouri. It's in Kansas City, which is in Missouri. Work that one out, America. Why is Kansas City not in Kansas but in Missouri? I know it's next to Kansas, but why is it called Kansas City if it's in Missouri? Also, I need to stop, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. Oh, I think we can get the end carriage on. Yeah, no, that's acceptable. Left doors are unlocked. Good. Yeah. I am worried that he might not like it here. Because it is windy and it is rainy. It's a bit dull and grey most of the time. and I don't know. It's just that, yes, he is moving to Hawaii and he's going to be even further away. He says he can call me and do all that because he couldn't call me with his mum around. The reason being is because she's Muslim and I know stuff about the Islamic religions. I say Islamic religions because there's different variations of Islam. I know that because my dad is one of them. And so is his family. And also I did religious education in school, so I know roughly what every single religion that is mainstream thinks about homosexual relations. Islam takes the same sort of view as Catholics do. I think in the modern day I think in countries like the United Kingdom and probably the USA, Islam will probably teach that being gay is okay. Probably. Most of the time. However, there's probably a few people around there in that religion who aren't happy with it. And if he did tell his mum, or mom, his mother, that he was gay, I don't think she'd approve. If she didn't approve, she'll probably kick him out of home, and because he doesn't have a job, how is he going to cope in the United States of America? He couldn't even cope here. You know? Couldn't really cope anywhere without having a home, so that's why he couldn't call me before. He didn't want her knowing about his sexuality, which I've been there once, right? My dad, I don't have a great relationship with him, but he doesn't dislike me because I like men. He just dislikes me in general. But I don't live with him anymore, so kind of a moot point. So that's the whole reason why he couldn't call back in Kansas. But his mum is actually moving away when he leaves to Hawaii, so he'll be able to call me hopefully, and we can interact a lot more on a more personal level than we would be able to otherwise. And I was hoping that maybe some of you would, I don't know, relate to that. I know at some point, I know a lot of people in the fandom are LGBT. Some people are even, some people are not LGBT, but I think that sometimes we can relate to that because we might make decisions that our parents won't like. You know, religion or otherwise being the reasons. Like, oh, you want to be a professional tennis player but you're a lady, when most of the people in professional tennis are actually men. Or you want to be a chef, or you're not following such and such traditions that we've had in our family where you have to, I don't know, make bricks for a living or something like that. You want to be dainty and do ballet when you're a man rather than do construction work, something like that. I have a love-hate relationship with my dad, but for reasons other than my sexuality. We're completely different people with different temperaments. Yeah, I know that very well. You've told me about those, but I think we can all sort of relate to that in a way. There are just people in life that we don't get on with, and that's the way it is. How is Hawaii? Does anyone know how Hawaii is? Because I have more concerns than just him not liking it here. You know, I have a lot of concerns that play on my mind every day. How is Hawaii? What is Hawaii like? And I imagine he'll like it no matter what it is, because he's very much liked, but he doesn't really care where he is, I don't think. I think it's more to do with the fact that, has he got a roof over his head? Has he got what he needs? Which is a very respectable thing. Just that I'm wondering, sitting here, I can't imagine a world where you live next to a beach and you don't go on the beach every day. That's one thing that I've thought, is that how do people living in coastal areas cope, knowing there's a beach there but they've got work to do? I don't know. I imagine after a while they just wouldn't care. Oh yeah, we have a beach, so what? But yeah, Hawaii is expensive, hot, and has lots of palm trees, but popular for vacation, that's all I know. I have a cousin currently living there and he says it's completely opposite West Virginia. Yes, geographically I can see why. It's also in the middle of, not in the middle of the Pacific, but it's quite far out. I'm just excited to one day see him, because when he does go to Hawaii, he'll get a job, probably, as a bartender, and I imagine there's lots of bars in Hawaii because it's a tourist destination, and yeah, everyone needs a drink, don't they? Everyone needs a drink. I just don't want some actually, put this. I don't want I don't want a man to go up to him and I just don't want him to be, I don't know, because going from Hawaii, I know he can bartend anywhere, but the reason why he's moving to Hawaii is because his sister is, and his mum is moving away as well. So, because he doesn't have a job in Kansas and no money to actually start renting anywhere, he can't stay there. So he's decided to go with his sister to Hawaii because, you know, she can give him the accommodation, you know, if that makes any sense. So he can stay with her in Hawaii. So he doesn't have to, sorry about that. So he doesn't have to run around sort of looking for a place to stay in an emergency, because that's what he would have to do if he wasn't going with either parent, his mum or his sister. And to be brutally honest, who wants to stay in Kansas? Also, I don't know what the housing situation is like in the United States. I don't know if it's easy or hard to get somewhere to live. So I'm kind of thinking, yeah, it's a good idea he's going with his sister, because then he's definitely got somewhere to go. And that puts me at ease, because then I don't want him running around like a blue-ass fly trying to find somewhere, but he doesn't get anywhere. In winter in the United States, where the snow, I've heard, can be quite something, the winters, so yeah, I don't want him sleeping outside in the cold, especially during winter time. But yeah, I just think Hawaii, United Kingdom, completely different. Because I've been living here all my life, I've got used to the crap factor, as it were. The United Kingdom isn't that bad of a place to live. It's just the the weather, you kind of have to understand that it's not warm here. Right? It's not warm 365 days of the year. It's not tropical. It's not anything like that. I would consider its weather to be unpredictable, yes, but quite boring. And I'm just, well, we don't know how we're going to get him a visa. A visa is what he would need to stay in the UK for more than 6 months. So, we don't know how we're going to do that. Usually it's done through a work permit. Also, we're pulling into San Francisco. And I noticed that the Transamerica Pyramid isn't here. Why is it not here? Should be over there, shouldn't it? Or is it behind us? Where is it? Have they just not put it in? I get that modelling the entirety of San Francisco is a bit pointless because you can't actually go there on foot, right? I get that. But why is Transamerica Pyramid just not here? I know that's Salesforce Tower, I think, right? The new tallest building in San Francisco, and then there's another. Transamerica Pyramid should be, well, around here, where I'm kind of looking, but it's just not. And I know what it looks like. That's weird. I guess maybe it might be behind one of the buildings. But I still think it would be tall enough to see from here. That's not it, because that's way too small, I think. Yep, that spire there, that's way too small. So, yeah. But this is San Francisco, apparently, according to Train Sim World. Not the whole of it, obviously. Limitations. And the fact that they model everything from the view of the train, so whatever you can see in the cab, they view everything, they model everything based on that. So that's why you don't see any more there. And there's also buildings to our right. Anyway, there we go, we've stopped. Let out the passengers. And this is apparently San Francisco's railway station. Was it 4th and King Street, something like that? Apparently that's what it's called. And yeah. Do apologise for that little tirade there about my thingy. Okay, my sister really wants me to watch Wonder Woman 84 with her, so I need to skedoodle. Oh, please do tell us, you know, what it's like. I hope it's good. Skedoodle, I like that. I'll see you around. Please do enjoy Wonder Woman 84. Unlock the doors. I did. Why do I need to lock the doors from that side? Huh. Okay then. I'm guessing it's because I should have been travelling on the right, but maybe. I'm not sure, but I'll give you a report on Discord. Goodbye. See you around. Feels like a chicken. Almost. Sort of. Not really. My doors are locked. Are they actually going to close? Yep. Lovely. Lock the doors on the right. And we've completed that. 41 minutes to do 28 miles. Okay, I'd see that as being fine. 2 hours and 3 minutes on the stream. Now if you want me to keep doing something, I'll do one more thing. But as for anything else, anything long-winded and spending a while on, won't be doing. Let's see. Can probably learn how to do the Cost 101 while we're here. Which I still need to learn how to drive reliably. Anyway. I also haven't spoken to him in a long time. By a long time I mean, last time I mentioned something was in 2 days. 2 days ago. But before that it was about 5 or 6 days.
Welcome to this Class 101 Diesel Mechanical Multiple Unit in British Rail blue and grey livery. This brief introduction will cover startup, stopping and passenger boarding.
Definitely...
A lot of time will be spent in the cab, so climb aboard to get started.
Definitely not a...
When ready, sit in the driver's seat.
Not a strong Yorkshire accent, it's more like a Lancashire accent.
The main switch is used to activate the control desk.
Lancashire.
Marker lights are used to inform others around that this train is active.
Yep, alright. Destination light to on. Throttle is to full.
This DMU has 4 engines across the whole unit, all of which need to be started. The rear of the train must be set up manually for each journey. Head over there now.
Yes, I will, Mr. Lancashirean accent fella. Right.
Red marker lights are used to signify that this is the rear of the...
Yeah, I know. Release the handbrake. Should do it on its own, I think. Yep.
This unit is now ready to go. Head back to the lead cab.
Ready to go. Ready to go, lad. Ready to go. I'm in Mancunian accent like...
Give a quick glance at the platform to ensure all is safe. Then unlock the doors.
Unlock the doors. I've unlocked the doors, mind. I've unlocked the doors on the train. And I don't know how long the train is like. Please kill me. Yes, it is true that some of us do speak like that in my part of the United Kingdom, and I do definitely have an accent. And...
Boarding is now complete. Set the doors to locked.
I don't know, sometimes I feel a little bit...
Use the reverser to set the direction of travel.
I will do.
This train features a gear system similar to cars on the road. To attain highest...
Right, gear system 1.
The brakes on this train act like a water tap. The higher the setting, the faster the train will stop. Open the valve.
Now I need to remove the handbrake and then we'll start rolling actually. Because we're on the slope. Yeah, we are.
Increase the throttle to start moving. Do not apply too much power too quickly. It's important to provide a smooth ride for passengers.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel a bit silly having an accent like this. In front of American friends.
The speed will increase. As it does, it will be appropriate to increase to the next gear and the train will accelerate further.
Yep. Okay, when it does I change gear, okay. But, I do feel a bit silly sometimes having this accent in front of American friends because this isn't one that Americans would probably hear on the TV or in films or anything like that. It just feels like I'm basically scum, really, living in the north. It's not really... Right, change the gear.
The process of changing gear has several steps. Reduce the engine RPM by setting the throttle to idle. Engage the new gear, then return to the desired throttle application. Let's try.
Yeah, I've done that. And I can't change up a gear until it's in that space there, until that needle is there. And it is there, which means I can move up a gear now. Am I in gear 3?
To cruise at a constant speed, the highest... Let's stop at the next station. The key aspect is to make a gentle, controlled approach.
Oh, we're not going to be making it at this bloody
Stopping
gear.
a train in the right place is the greatest skill of a train driver. It may take a few attempts to get it right. Depending on the speed of the train, begin braking between 1.5 and 1 mile from the station.
Yes, I will.
Brake control on this train opens a vacuum, releasing pressure holding the brakes off the wheels. To maintain a specific pressure, close this valve by setting the handle to the lapped position.
Yeah, okay.
Use the control now to set the brake pressure.
Oh dear.
Aim to be doing no more than 25 miles per hour when the train reaches the platform. Then come to a stop anywhere alongside.
Stop. Please stop. Stop. I missed it because I was trying to change up another gear, mind. Can I actually move the reverser? Yes, I can. Right. Release pressure. We are going backwards. I know, I was trying to change up another gear because I thought maybe it'd take me through another gear change. Okay. I hate driving this. Oh.
Well done. Practice makes perfect.
Well
Give a
done,
quick
I'm
glance at the
moving.
platform to ensure all is safe, then unlock the doors.
Well done, my ass. You daft Manchester prick. Well done, my bumhole, that you've done that. I was rolling back. Okay, I didn't expect this to count as being finished. Anyway. This train is fitted with AWS, the only problem is it's not, at the time that this train was on the line,
Good work. That is the basics
AWS
covered.
wasn't a
The manual
thing
can
on
also be
some of
obtained
the
that
routes,
provides more detail about the full functionality of this train and
on
more.
some of the lines, but it does have a readout there, that circle thing, that green thing, is an aftermarket thing. So that's only there if you want to use this train on routes that does have AWS, so it is fully compatible. It's just that you need to know how to activate it once again. Right. But anyway, I think that's going to be the end of the stream for tonight. As for when I'll do another one, well, today was Saturday when I started, so I could do streams every Saturday, probably, but maybe randomly in between. I don't know, I don't really have a schedule at the moment. I just do these for fun, whenever I feel like it. Yes, game, I know you want to move me on to the next thing, but I don't want to play it. So, that's basically... Oh, I'm a bit tired. That's basically the situation with that. Do hope you all enjoyed. I'll close the stream in a moment. Hopefully everyone else has a good day, rest of the evening, night, whatever time it is over there. And please do, I'll let you know when I do another stream. I'll see you all around.